G'day. Well, I have been working so much on this crystal oscillator slash computer factory, and it is pretty damn awesome. I'm kind of got obsessed with the new building stuff, and this factory is pretty cool. I want to go through and show you everything I have done, and I think the best way to do that is to simply start at the miners and work my way through and talk about everything as we go through. Righty-o. So, this is the train station. It delivers plastic and receives crystal oscillators and or computers depending on what I do in this control tower over here. Now I'll go through the control tower later and how it works, because it's a pretty cool little setup. But basically this factory is making around about 33 crystal oscillators, and I have the potential to crank a button over and turn them all into computers. Using this, actually we'll just computer. This recipe here, the crystal computer. In fact, if we go down and have a look in the actual assembler itself, you'll see that even though this number here is an odd number, a strange number, it's exactly the same as the crystal oscillators. So I can flick a switch up there and feed all my crystal oscillators and turn them all into computers. So that's the idea behind this factory. But we'll go through that in a second. Let's go through this factory. So, we'll start at the miners. I wanted to make a computer factory and crystal oscillators. I came into this area because it has pure nodes, and I ended up deciding to base this whole factory off, well, it's a bunch of factories, like a city now. I based this whole thing off 780 lines. Now I don't, these are currently Mark II miners. I don't have the Mark III stuff or the 780 belts, but once I do get that, I'll be able to just come through and just upgrade a few of the belts, only the big main belts, and the miners. Alright, so 2 pure nodes of quartz going in there, and up here we have 2 pure nodes of iron and 2 pure nodes of copper. So let's go through the build. I really got carried away with the aesthetics on this one with the update 5, and I'm going to try cover some of the cool things I really like about the update 5 things. So starting with these beams. These beams are awesome. The freeform way you can put them down and everything, it is bloody awesome. We'll just have a quick look under here while we're here. These new skins, or the new tiles, it looks so good now. I've got a little bit of water coming up. Oh, I've lost. No, I've lost. That's alright. We'll go over this way anyway. I want to show you something over here. So under here, under the whole factory, I wanted to not have like a big plain looking underside of it. So I've grabbed, the amount of water I need is about 900. I managed to get it out of this little puddle down here. Bring it up here, run some nice pipes along the top, and you'll see that I've got some kind of floating hanging factories, hanging by the beams and whatnot. I'll go over what they are in a little bit. So first of all, one thing I really want to talk about is update 5. The soft clearance is so good, because what I got here is 3 water extractors pumping water straight in there, all the way up there, all the way to where it's needed in the factory. And with the soft clearance, I've actually got a whole bunch of stuff hidden in here. It's really cool. I'll just delete it real quick here and show you that I actually have some pumps and some messy stuff just hidden all up in here, and there's another group of pumps up there. But I can let's just do that. Boom. Soft clearance allows you to just cover it all up and make it neat. Alright, so let's go back up here and we'll have a look at the rest of this factory. Right, so all the ore comes in, 780 iron, two 780 iron lines, two 780 copper lines, and I've just gone for smeltathon here, smelting city. No fancy recipe here, just smelting all the iron and all the copper. And I've come across, used a few new tiles and things. These roof tiles are awesome with a slight slant on it, just to give it that nice aesthetic look. So that's that. We smelt all the ore into ingots. Come across here, I've actually used a roof tile, a flat roof tile for this, and we're basically turning all the copper into wire. I won't go through the exact numbers, but a shitload of wire, and then the wire comes along and gets turned into cable, because cables are for the crystal oscillators. Just having a look at a lot of the aesthetic stuff that I've done. I've really spent a lot of time trying to make this factory look good. You can see the ladder. You can actually, there's a walkway around the whole perimeter of this factory, and also you can actually climb all the way up here using the hover pack now, obviously, and go all the way along here. I've enclosed our refineries. The refineries are making the pure quartz, so that's what the water's for. The water's coming in and making the quartz. Alright, these are coming from a separate factory, the reinforced iron plates. And yeah, and that's it. So these beams are really cool to play with. They can be a bit finicky to get them in position, but they really give it an excellent aesthetic look. We'll go through all the manufacturers in a second. Alright, so I wanted to keep it like nice and open, not too closed in. And it's turned out really well. Alright, so you can see the ladder comes down this side as well. Got the water and quartz going in there. Alright, so what's underneath? For the computer conversion, we need circuit boards. So I've got a little circuit board factory under here. And it doubles as holding the whole factory up as well. So about 75 circuit boards per minute. I've utilised the floor holes here, and I've got two kind of independent factories underneath holding up the bigger factory on top. So these are circuit boards, and these over here are copper sheets, and they're actually the copper sheets are actually used for the circuit boards. I've kind of tried to put these belts up on the roof here with the ladders, kind of so they're held up. And yeah, and that's it for that. Looking pretty good. Alright, so that's it. We have the circuit boards, we have the quartz crystal, and we have the cable sorted out. And they're all going down to this bus line here to move on to the next stage. So, with the iron, you can see a whole lot of iron ingots, two 780 lines. They actually aren't doing anything in this factory. They go across into this other factory over here. Now this other factory is a reinforced iron plate factory. It's got a massive amount of constructors under there, and I'm actually doing the iron wire recipe. So I wanted to utilize so it's an alternate recipe, iron wire. Not quite as efficient, but I used it anyway. And these guys are making the iron plates, and they all go up and out, which I'm going to go have a look at. This factory looks really cool. I really wanted to like blend it into the outside, so it's kind of getting held up by this massive rock here, so it's kind of built into the rock face, and the assemblers are on top. So all the stuff gets made in this big lower level, all the basic stuff. And then the wire, I'm actually using another old recipe, the stitched iron plate. Pretty good recipe. And it all comes up here. Alright, that train station over there, that is a temporary train station just for me to test something out. Alright, so these new skins just look so good. So I had to replicate like that underneath here. So it's kind of getting held up and overlooking this this other setup that I've got. We'll have a look at that from a distance in a sec. I tried not to clip anything. I built everything like into the environment. I didn't want to like clip through any big mushrooms or anything like that. And these new concrete skin is just so good. Alright, so I wanted to hold this big corner up. I've got a bit of a belt bust going down here, so I've done a little setup. The big tile into the little one, into the steel, into the little, into the big. It turns out pretty good. Alright, so everything that's getting made, let's go over here. Everything getting made in this epic factory here, circuit boards with the plastic coming in on the train, everything comes down this main bus line and goes into my nice little snaked manufacturer setup. Now this took a while to set up. I wanted to build it like into the river and have a nice little smooth snake kind of setup. And yeah, so coming nice and clean down here along the water. And I wanted to have just like independent cubes and a train line going through the middle. I will use this train to do proper stuff, but for now I've got a temporary train station just over there to get a train running up and down the guts of it. Alright, so these all do crystal oscillators. I needed 33 machines, but what I did is I laid out 22. So there's 11 each side here. And I put a shard in each one, just to save on space. Took a while to belt all this up, but basically, we're pumping out 33 crystal oscillators per minute. This whole factory, excluding the circuit boards under here, because they're used for what we'll show in a second. Right, so it's all nice and clean. Some of the belts are all clipping inside here, but this is all nice and clean. Right, so it's like kind of like a, I don't know what you call it, but it's pretty nice looking. Alright, so the train goes under here. I wanted to make kind of like a smooth curved belt. Maybe I'll play with this a little bit, but we'll see. Alright, so this factory here, this is the really cool part. So, oh yeah, by the way, how good does that look? That just looks so good. This whole thing. So yes, this factory here, the train comes on through it. I've just got him whizzing around. He usually goes and gets the plastic, but I've got so much plastic stocked up that it doesn't matter. So we feed this factory crystal oscillators and circuit boards. If I go up there and flip the switch, we'll turn this factory on. You'll see it's dormant at the moment. It's actually backed up with crystal oscillators as well. So when I turn this on, it's going to pump out the crystal oscillators. Let's go have a look at how it works. So essentially, let's go. I spent a while on this. So first of all, let's have a look at this tower. I've used the new tiles in a spiral effect, and played around with this one to make it look pretty nice. Pretty cool. So control tower, that'll take us to the top of the control tower. I left that slug there because it looks cool. And if I don't move out the way, I'll just get sucked back down there. Alright, so we're up here and this is the activation port. This looks actually way cooler at night because you see all of this light up. I've painted it the color of computers. So here you can see crystal oscillators pumping through. So this whole factory will make the crystal oscillators. They'll come up here so you get a visual representation of them, and then go back down, back through the whole factory and back to the train station here. Alright, so when I activate this, it'll turn on the computers and we'll see these will stop going and these will turn into computers, and now we'll be filling up the system with computers. So let's do that. Alright, so you'll see the lights have all turned on, and they're all turned on. So I needed, we'll see some computers coming down soon. I needed 10 assemblers, but I chucked down 4 assemblers, and there comes some computers now, and just triple sharded them. So it's equivalent to 10 assemblers there. Alright, so it won't be too long and you'll see our computers. There you go. So now we've activated computers. These will start pumping out computers. So what actually happens with the numbers? It's 33 crystal oscillators per minute, and when I pull this lever, it converts the whole factory into 28 computers per minute, and I still keep a trickle effect of 5 crystal oscillators. So even though I've ripped that lever, we're still going to trickle crystal oscillators, but the predominant, the most part of it is going to be computers. As you can see now, this has stopped putting crystal oscillators, and now this is doing computers. I've never really done anything like this, like play around with, like, I don't know what you'd call it. It's not really a logic switch, but just stuff like this. I want to start doing more cool stuff like this, because yeah, like Stin Archie on his channel, he does a lot of really cool like logic kind of stuff, and yeah, I want to do some that sort of stuff more often. So yeah, you can see the computers down there, and they'll end up on the train station, and there goes the train. He goes through that factory and off. So let's go have one last little look around down there. Boop. There's the control tower. Alright, chucked a radar tower on top of it. So once the lights are turned on, these lights actually activate in here too. So this is a nice little clipping feature. If you want to get these lights, there's actually, I've used soft clearance. And what's happening inside this factory is it's just bricked up. I've just fully bricked it, but there's a lot of, as you can imagine, splitters and mergers and things happening underneath. But I've basically just made it messy as hell, and covered it up with the soft clearance, the advantage of soft clearance. It's so cool. Alright, so what I did for these little lamp posts under here, you'll see I've actually got the roof. So I've got like a roof up on top here and a roof underneath, so you can see the water, and there's actually a few neat belts you can see going underneath. But that's alright. So under here, if I look at this light pole, there's actually a light pole in there, and I had to like drop it down a level and play with it a bit, but eventually got them at the perfect level. So there we go, that's it. That is it. It took a while to get this nice smooth transition of the factory along here. Actually, what I had to do was where did we do it? We got the these things, and I had to find the center. Let's just make it this for a sec. What did I do? I did this, right? So like that. Oops. I'm playing around now. But you have to make it halfway across, so you've got the center tile like this, and then run them out. I was running them out like through the middle, and then just putting an ever so slight turn on it, like that, and then ever so slightly turning it. And this was the center. I had to run this up the center of this, like right up the very, very center, because I tried playing around trying to get these squares, like trying to do it off the corners here, like this. Where are we? You hold control, and I was trying to do it off the corners with this, but I couldn't get them to quite line up and make it look nice and smooth. So you've actually got to get those little tiles and run it right up the center of where you want it to be, and then build off the side of that. But yeah, that is it. That is this factory. I hope I didn't really miss anything. Showed off a lot of the aesthetics, but kind of got the bug for this game again. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't know what I'm going to do for the next one, but it'll be something. So there we are. Catch us later.